Morning folks, 21st Century Caveman here, hope everybody's well. Saturday morning here in the UK, it's a beautiful day, sun streaming through the windows. I'm just sitting here relaxing, getting ready for work and enjoying a nice cup of proper coffee. And I wanted to do a short video this morning in support of one of my subscribers, somebody who I also subscribe to their channel. His name's Gary, his channel is RWF0067. By way of background information, Gary is an expert plasterer, and the core of his videos on his channel, they're about plastering. Gary's an absolute top man, expert plasterer, and despite the fact, and he's a grafter, and despite the fact that he has a very busy schedule, he's always working, he's always grafting, he can be bothered to take time out to give people advice and guidance, to share tips and tricks of the trade, that sort of thing, to try and help people who perhaps may want to go into the industry, or perhaps people who are already in the industry, just to share ideas and just to give it a platform, a forum to discuss new ways of doing things, product reviews, that sort of thing. And I think the key, the essence of it is he tries to help other people, and that's what, to my mind, marks him out from other people. Okay, he's a great guy. And quite recently he has been experiencing some problems with one or two people trolling on his channel. And I think for anybody who posts videos regularly on YouTube, you're going to come across it at some point. I mean, I've come across it myself, and I've been the victim of it to a lesser degree. But it got me thinking, really, and trolling, it is a modern phenomenon, and it is of course a form of cyberbullying, and with it you do actually see the extremes of behaviour. It can range from people simply poking fun at other people, just being a general nuisance, just sort of like nitpicking on stuff without any foundation for it, to the more extremes of behaviour whereby people are being very abusive, they're being insulting and just downright threatening. And I think the internet, is a perfect forum for people to do that, a medium rather for people to do that, because when people go on the internet, when they subscribe to YouTube, etc., they can do it, if they want to, completely anonymously. If somebody posts some really nasty comments on your channel, is constantly nitpicking at what you do, I mean, you look at their channel, a lot of these people, they've got no identity at all. There might be some sort of stupid icon on there, there might be absolutely nothing at all. And when you look at their channel, it gives you no indication as to their identity. It could be a next door neighbour, it could be somebody on a different continent, you just don't know. And I think it's because of that, they enjoy that level of anonymity, that it perhaps encourages some people to act in a way which is actually quite deviant, and perhaps in a way which they wouldn't normally act. People might act in a way or say things they might not normally. So for example, for somebody to say face to face, because they're perhaps too cowardly to do so, or perhaps the whole way in which the internet works gives this degree of anonymity, they can do it without really any major consequences. And realistically, the worst that can happen to people who act in this way is you can report them, you can withhold the comments, or just ban them from your channel. But the point is the fact that it is something which everybody has to contend with, and I think you've got to be quite careful about how you deal with these sorts of people. Gary has recently called out this person, which was certainly one way of dealing with it, but I think it's quite a high-risk strategy, because the sorts of people we're talking about, the people who do this really with malice, these are people with some serious personal issues, and you've got to be careful, because it might simply encourage them just to up the ante and just to act in a more in a worse manner. So it is a high risk strategy, and it won't work for everybody. That appears to have worked for Gary, because this person apparently has withdrawn their comments. But some of the people who act in these sorts of extremes of behaviour, they possibly feel very inadequate, they have low self-esteem, lack of confidence, and I think it provides a way in which they can vent their angers, their frustrations on other people, and it enables them to make other people a scapegoat for their own shortfalls and shortcomings. So, you know, it won't work for everybody. And for what it's worth, in my opinion, the easy way of dealing with these sorts of people is you basically don't acknowledge them. You know, don't encourage them by responding to them. Just simply ignore them, ban them from your channel, and just leave it at that. And the thing is, you know, I could sense from Gary's video that he's very annoyed about it and getting quite angry about it, and understandably, but you've got to be careful that you're not simply encouraging people to continue acting in the way they are. It's easy for somebody just to, you know, open up another identity and just continue in the same vein, but perhaps with more venom. So you've got to be a little bit careful. But anyway, my advice to Gary is ignore these people, don't give them any credit whatsoever, don't acknowledge them, don't dignify them with responding in any way, shape or form. Just ban them from your channel, don't publish your comments, etc. And I think the main thing, Gary, is keep up what you're doing, mate. You've got a great channel, and I think it's going places. I think you're going places. You've got a lot of things to share with people. People will listen to what you have to say, and I think the main thing is that you've got to keep doing what you're doing.